Now, this is the time that you need to pay keen attention to what I have to say today. You don't have to rush them. Don't choke them with your sincere counsel. Listen up. Now, sit tight and let's talk about this one thing that is breaking family and relationship everywhere and every day. Hello. Hello, this is beautiful to have you here with me today. Time and in a generation where serious wisdom needs to be applied. Gone are those days when, parents will, and relatives and friends and church, pastors and clergy and other communities play a great role in the decision of who to marry, what to marry, and how to go about your marriage. This is the time that things are now done differently. There's something that is happening that very many of us lose out, of the relationship we have with our children, our relatives, and all of that because of the interference. Interference, not in the negative, but in the positive. In the sense that you have a child who wants to get married, and then you're here and you're looking at that child and you're telling the child, there is a sign I've seen. These are red flags. You're looking at that relative of yours and you're telling that relative, this person I don't think is the right person for you based on this, and that, the track record, the history, the story, and then the name and everything. And, or probably you're saying there are certain things I've seen in this person that I think they are red flags which you need to slow down and think again or pray more before you go ahead to say I do. But we're in a time when those kind of counsels are seen as you don't like the person I want to marry, you don't want me to marry, you don't want me to be married, you are now the witch and the wizard. Those days it used to be a community thing. Marriage decision is not done by just one person. Even if you check through the scriptures, you discover that marriage decisions are not just done by just one person. There are so many people that play key role in marriage issues. But these days, things are different now. And before you know, you're tagged that bad person, you're tagged that bad pastor, that bad pastor's wife, that bad brother or sister, and then you begin to form enemies. See, there's one advice I have for you today. One thing with counsel is that professionally, you're told that a counselor is not supposed to give counsel until the counselee, somebody who is in need of that counsel, ask for it. Okay? But because we are people who love our people and we just want the best for them, when you see something, you say it, and then it's seen to be something different. These days, I want you to understand that when you tell somebody, your child, your sister, your brother, they come to you and they say, there's somebody I've seen I want to marry, or this person wants to marry me, and then you go ahead to say, oh, please, as they visited, or probably you met with the person, like our elders will always say, what an adult sits down to see, a child can climb to the highest top of an iroko tree or anything or a mountain, and they will never see it. But these days we're in the Gen Z age where children or people care less about what you think you're seeing, and instead of giving deep thought to it and to check these red flags, they end up getting offended. And that's the reason for many marriages that are ending up in divorce, separations, and breakups today. Those days, people give listening ears, but these days, people no longer pay attention. What is my sincere counsel to you? One thing that your continuous insistence on the fact that these people must not be married, or that this person is not the best for you, does is that it leaves you hot. It leaves you with the injury, a dagger in your heart, because you're going to be tagged a witch, you're going to be tagged a bad person, you're going to be tagged somebody who does not have good intention for that son, that daughter, that nephew, that brother, that sister in church or in the family. we've had a couple of experiences. And so one thing it does when you're saying, don't do this, don't go ahead with this marriage, and because they are overwhelmed with love, the love is shocking us. The love is shocking them, and they just want to go ahead, and all they want to do is just to make sure that they get married to the person. One thing it does is that the more you keep insisting, don't marry this person, the more you strengthen their bond against the opposition. Gone are the days when you insist and it happens. And even in those days when you insist and it happens or it doesn't happen, those who insist that they must continue in that relationship with or without those red flags, they end up having issues and get to discover at the end of the day that what you were saying those days are true. And these days, people no longer have patience, So when you're telling somebody, calm down, take a break, listen, take counsel, watch before you leap, pray about this thing. Check out these things. Are they red flags? We're saying that they are red flags. And with these red flags, you can't go ahead. But because we are overwhelmed, the generation we're in is a generation that is overwhelmed with this thing called love. But the truth is, when they ignore those red flags you talk about, and this love, in quotes, turns into the reality that you've been trying to talk about and they've not been listening or giving a listening ear to, it becomes somehow too late. And as a way of escape, they tell you they can't continue in the relationship. It is not a do or die affair. I'll have to quit. I give up. I divorce. I separate. I go my separate ways, and I choose me over that relationship. But sincerely speaking, they were the ones that refused to pay attention when words of caution comes calling. So my sincere counsel is this: in order not to leave you hurting, in order not to leave you, give you a different name or to tag you as the wicked person, what you should do is to do what? Give counsel, pray for them, and relax and trust that God will help them to make the best decisions. If you are still here up to this time, I trust that you should subscribe to my channel already. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button, like, share, and leave me a comment in the comment section. Remember that you're loved, you're valued, and I celebrate you. Bye-bye.